Behind these zodiac signs is a scary demon. Some zodiac signs are under the invisible influence of dark forces from birth. This is not a myth or an allegory. This is a powerful esoteric fact that was passed on in closed circles of magicians and sorcerers. Behind these people there is a demon that feeds on their internal conflicts, fears and passion for power. It does not always destroy, it gives strength, but demands retribution. It can push to the top, or into the abyss. Today you will find out which zodiac signs carry this heavy shadow sign. Why some of them manipulate, bewitch and subjugate, without even realizing their strength. We will analyze how this demon manifests itself, how it affects fate, character and choice. If you feel that someone you know was born to play in the dark, watch this video to the end. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see reality as it is, without embellishment. And write in the comments, is there someone among your loved ones who definitely has something more than just character behind them? Now we will reveal a secret, and it is up to you to decide, to be afraid of it or to use it for good. The first sign is Leo. A Leo has a demon behind him that doesn't hide in the shadows, it comes forward with him. It's not a creature of fear, but the energy of destructive force that Leo can direct with the precision of a scalpel. This demon feeds on power, the thirst for dominance, unconditional recognition and submission. It appears at moments when Leo feels that his authority is being questioned. And then a switch occurs. Leo becomes not just a leader, but a bearer of a strong will that is impossible to evade. This demon acts through pride. It dictates, do not give in, do not forgive, do not doubt. It demands absolute confidence in your rightness and does not allow weakness. Under its influence, Leo ceases to distinguish the line between respect and fear. It is important to him that they obey, even if it means suppressing someone else's will. He can be generous as long as he is in control of the situation. But as soon as he feels that someone is questioning his strength, the demonic instinct of dominance is activated. The demon behind Leo's back also manifests itself in words. Speech becomes a weapon, sharp, precise, aimed at showing superiority. Leo can destroy with arguments, manipulate facts, make even a confident person doubt themselves. In disputes, he does not strive for the truth, he strives for victory. And if the situation becomes tense, the demon whispers, do not retreat, even if it means breaking the other one. In relationships, this demon acts through jealousy, control, the desire to be the only center of attention. Leo does not tolerate competition. Any attempt to escape from under his influence is perceived as betrayal. And at this moment, a thirst appears to prove that they cannot cope without him. He begins to control emotions, creates dependencies, introduces a sense of guilt, and all this, with an external expression of care. He does not openly show aggression, he acts with authority. Leo's demon is also associated with intolerance of criticism. Even the slightest remark can awaken anger, which hides the fear of being misunderstood or rejected. Leo can remain calm on the outside, but inside, an internal war begins, in which the demon demands punishment for the one who dared to doubt his importance. This struggle is reflected in decisions, and often leads to destructive consequences for others. But the most powerful manifestation of the demon is at the moment of victory. When Leo gets what he wants, the demon demands more. It is not enough to succeed. You need everyone to recognize that it was done with a bang. You need others to admire, bow down, applaud. If this is not the case, an internal hunger arises that devours even the most striking achievements. And then a new round of struggle for recognition begins, without stops or rest. The second sign is Virgo. A demon stands behind Virgo, devoid of chaos. It is structured, precise and dangerous precisely because of its cold-blooded systematicity. This demon does not act through emotions, it thinks in schemes. Its goal is the complete subordination of the surrounding reality to Virgo's logic. It manifests itself in the desire for an ideal order, which under its influence becomes a dictate. This is the demon of control, analysis, division and destruction of weakness. It does not yell. It builds chains of arguments that cannot be disputed. And then it demands, follow, obey, fulfill. The Virgo demon is especially active when the situation gets out of control. Then internal irritation appears, turning into hidden aggression. It is not expressed directly. It manifests itself through sarcasm, hypercriticism, devaluation. Under its influence, Virgo begins to see mistakes in everything. In people, in words, in actions, even in himself. And this makes her ruthless, first to others, then to herself. Under the influence of this demon, Virgo turns into a precise mechanism for calculating guilt. She will not forget, forgive, or miss. Everything is recorded, everything is classified, and everything is used at the right moment. In communication, the demon prompts Virgo with words that seem rational, but destroy. You could have done better, you didn't think again, I told you so. These are not reproaches, they are blows. The goal is to knock the ground out from under their feet, to force them to adapt to her system. In relationships, the demon acts especially sophisticatedly. He instills in Virgo that ideal care is control, that love is a requirement, that intimacy is a constant test for compliance. And then Virgo begins to rebuild a person to her standards, without even noticing how she suppresses his personality. All this is in the name of help. And this makes her control as convincing as possible. She does not dictate, she instructs. And this is the demon's strength. It disguises itself as good. Another manifestation is the mania for order, not just in things, but in the lives of others. Virgo begins to dictate how to live correctly, how to speak, how to feel. She demands efficiency, precision, dedication, and if she does not receive it, the demon whispers, you must remake him. And Virgo begins, not with rudeness, with method. She replaces thoughts, instills rules, sets priorities. And she does it so subtly that the person himself believes that he has come up with everything himself. The most dangerous thing is when Virgo is convinced that she is the only one who sees the truth. Then the demon gets complete freedom. He dictates who should be abandoned, who should be punished, who should be broken with forever. And decisions are made in cold blood, without hysterics, without exhaustion. Simple, logical, once, and crossed out. 2, and forgotten. 3, and rewritten. This is a demon who demands perfection. And when it doesn't receive it, it begins to destroy everything imperfect, without making exceptions. The third sign of Pisces. From the first days of their lives, representatives of this sign feel an invisible pressure that has no logical explanation. This is not just anxiety or doubt, it is the presence of an entity that suppresses confidence, blocks the voice of reason and replaces self-confidence with a sense of guilt. Behind Pisces there is a demon, capable of masterfully distorting reality. He does not frighten directly, does not throw images in your eyes. He whispers. He creates thoughts that sound like your own. He imperceptibly suggests that any undertaking is doomed, that any success is an accident that should not be repeated. He makes Pisces doubt their actions, put things off for later, be afraid of conflict, avoid initiative. It is he who makes them vulnerable to other people's opinions, pushes them to agree when you want to refuse, to remain silent when you want to scream. This demon does not feed on fears, it creates them. He provokes repetitive scenarios in relationships, where Pisces play the role of a victim, where they are used, where they give more than they receive. He instills a sense of duty when it is high time to leave. He prevents you from cutting off old ties, whispering that it will be even worse. He knows how to keep Pisces in the emotional swamp zone, hiding behind a mask of care, friendship, or even love. This influence is especially active during periods when Pisces are trying to reach a new level, changing jobs, starting a project, breaking up with toxic people. At these moments, the demon increases the pressure. Random failures, internal rejection, weakness, apathy arise. Pisces begin to doubt, procrastinate, lose focus. All this is not a coincidence, but a retention tactic. The closer they are to freedom, the stronger he holds. He knows how to disguise himself as intuition, turning the voice of the heart into the voice of fear. He makes sensitive representatives of the sign believe that it should be like this, that it's better not to stick your neck out. Its task is to keep Pisces in a position of being led, passive, quiet. It does not like light, action, decisiveness. Therefore, every time Pisces make a bold step, it retreats. Not for long, but it retreats. It is impossible to overcome it with words or logic. It can only be weakened by actions. Every time Pisces go against doubt, make a choice in their favor, say no when they are expected to obey, its power decreases. It loses influence when they take a step, even if they are afraid. It begins to disappear when Pisces stop looking for approval and allow themselves to live their own way. This demon has no name, but it exists in every generation. It is not about past lives, not about curses. It is about upbringing, traumas, behavior patterns passed down the chain. But as soon as Pisces recognize it in themselves, liberation begins. And if they continue to resist, speak, act, call things by their names, in one moment it will leave. Silently, as it came, only the inner voice will remain, which will no longer be a shadow, but will become a support. The fourth sign is Libra. Libras often seem balanced, calm, thoughtful. But behind this facade, for years, there is something more than just a desire for harmony. The representatives of this sign have a demon behind them that does not frighten, does not threaten, does not brandish screens. It acts precisely, subtly, through internal hesitation. Its strength is in doubt. It does not destroy, it slowly, subtly deprives of determination. It turns choice into torture, decisions, into a chain of endless scenarios in which everything ends differently than desired. It does not give Libra peace even in the most seemingly obvious situations. It knows how to question what has long been chosen. Its weapons are postponement, comparison, analysis without action. This demon feeds on situations in which you need to act quickly. At such moments, Libra is literally paralyzed. While others walk, they think. While others do, they plan. While others take risks, they weigh. But as soon as the moment is lost, disappointment sets in. The demon takes the floor again, convincing that it would have been better not to start at all. This is how he closes the circle. He creates the idea that a decision is always a sacrifice, and therefore it is easier not to decide at all. His influence is especially strong in relationships. Libra often attracts those who demand clarity. Are you with me or not? Yes or no? Choose. But the demon forces them to go into the shadows, avoid direct answers, lose themselves, and adapt. He convinces that conflict will destroy everything, that honesty will push away, that direct speech will make things worse. He turns the desire for peace into dependence on someone else's comfort. He also works through the opinions of others. Libra often lives not by their desires, but by the expectations of others. He whispers, "You can't do that. What will they say? This is wrong." He slips in the image of an ideal person with whom it is impossible to compete. He deprives them of energy when they compare themselves with those who have already succeeded. It makes them too self-critical, perfectionists, not allowing them to start if something is not perfect. And yet there is a way to break free. The demon leaves when Libra starts making choices, even wrong ones. When they speak directly, even if they are afraid. When they stop pleasing. Its strength is in silence and inaction. As soon as Libra raises their voice, moves, commits an impulsive act, it retreats. It is most afraid of sincerity and risk, because in him Libra is real, alive, free. This demon is not immortal. It is not eternal. Its power ends where self-trust begins. And if Libra realizes that behind many of their doubts there is not their voice, but imposed fear, then they will begin to live differently. Faster, more honestly, freer.